Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to another, what is this going to be called? I don't know. I don't really have a name for this yet. It's just the Sunday afternoon, sit down, talk to you guys about my training, how the week is gone, how I'm thinking the next week is going to go, what my plans are. So that's what this video is. It's going to be real laid back and relaxed, just kind of going to walk through how my training went last week. Got a couple things in the mail first that I wanted to show you though. This one is called a TENS therapy pain relief unit. It just actually came in the mail today and I'm really excited. I haven't even opened it up yet. I need to read the instructions obviously before I fire it up, but it's these pads that you can stick on. For me, I'm going to be working on my legs to help with recovery, help with kind of pain management sort of thing. So honestly, I don't even really want to get into this very much right now because it just came literally 5 minutes ago and I need to figure out how to use it, but I will be letting you guys know a lot more about what I think about it as I start using it. And the next thing that came, these might be a little out there, but I wanted to, obviously with 100 milers, one thing that happens a lot is that your legs fatigue, but the rest of your body also fatigues a lot too. So I got these things called egg weights, and it's kind of weird. I'll tell you right off the bat, it's kind of weird. I bought these with my own money. No one sent these to me or anything. But they're little weights, and these are the 2-pound weights. They kind of go on your fingers just like this, and you can kind of run with them. These are actually the ones that are meant for, you just put them on your fingers just like this, and then you just use them when you're running, or for me, I'm going to be using them on the treadmill, when I'm hiking. And what it will do is help increase, theoretically, help increase a little bit of endurance, help get a little bit of that arm strength going because I will be using poles during the cruel jewel. But yeah, these, they're tiny. They fit in the palm of my hand and they're 2 pounds each. So that's pretty cool. They're called egg weights. I'll put a link down in the description if you guys are interested in these specific run models that have this little rubber gripper on the weight itself. So I'll let you guys know what I think about these after I use them for a couple times. I mean, obviously 2 pounds doesn't sound like a lot, but I think if you use them for an hour or two, it's probably gonna make you pretty tired, so. All right. So I wanted to open those up in this video because those both relate to training. And that's what this video is gonna be about. My training last week and how it's going into next week. So let's get started. So a couple stats to start off with. I hit 55.9 miles for the week and 17,415 feet of elevation gain. All of this, every single run this whole week was on the treadmill because the weather has been awful. There is 8 inches of snow on the ground and it's not melting anytime soon. We haven't been above 30 degrees Fahrenheit in over a week. So it's just we've gotten more snow and it's just ice and snow everywhere. This morning when I woke up, it was 1 degree Fahrenheit. And then when I started my run, it was 0. So the temperature was actually going down after the sun came up. We're just in the middle of this. I don't know if it's a polar vortex or what, but we're right in the middle of it. And the outlook for the next week doesn't look so great either. I don't think it's going to get above 30 for at least another week. So we're looking at a lot of snow on the trails and the roads, a lot of ice everywhere that's just not going away for a while. And I think it's going to be around for a couple weeks on the trails, which is slightly disappointing because obviously I want to get out and I want to run on the trails. And so here's the deal. It's not just about being safe. I'm not being a wuss and being oh, I don't want to go out and run in the snow or whatever. It's about being safe, but then also getting good training in. And for the race I'm doing in Georgia in May, it's going to be 100 degrees. I'm going to be sweating like crazy. I don't need any cold weather training right now. I need quality runs, quality climbing. I need to be maximizing my time because I am a very busy person. And so I don't have 8 hours to go out and get 20 miles and a couple thousand feet of vert. Sometimes I only have 4 or 5 hours. So maximizing my time on the treadmill, getting quality runs in while it's disaster outside is perfectly fine with me. And I would recommend this to anybody that's watching or anybody that I coach. Sometimes, yes, training outside in really, really horrible weather is going to be good. It's going to make you stronger. It's going to do a lot of things for mental toughness. But at this point, with being now only 14 weeks away from the Cruel Jewel 100, I want to make sure that I'm getting really quality training sessions in and hitting the marks that I've set out to hit within the time that I have. So that's that. So starting off on Monday, it was a recovery run, hour and 9 minutes, 6 miles on the treadmill. I started off with a 3-mile run and then a mile hike, another mile run, mile hike. So pretty typical for what I've been doing on Mondays. Tuesday, changed it up just a little bit. It was another 6-mile run, but this one was a little bit quicker because after 3 miles of a warm-up run, I was hiking and going quite a bit quicker than I was. Like I started off and did about a quarter mile of actual running, up 15%. And then finished it off with a hike and then another mile run interval and then again a quarter mile run at 15%, followed by the rest of it hiking and then finishing out on with a run. 2,000 feet of elevation gain both Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday was a really quality run. Got it in on the treadmill, 5 miles. 56 minutes. After a mile and a quarter of warm-up, I did about a mile hike, but a little bit quicker pace than typical. For my runs, instead of going back to 3%, I cycled in between 5 and 7% while I was running, elevating the heart rate a little bit. Like the difference between 3 and 5% on a treadmill is not that much. Like your legs don't feel it that much, but your heart does, and so you're going to work a little bit harder during those intervals. And then especially when you go from 3 to like 7%, like you definitely notice that quite a bit more. So that's what I did towards the end, and you can see here that I really did ramp my heart rate up right up to 170 beats a minute towards the end. So I was working pretty hard right at the end of this run. Thursday was a 3x3 minute high intensity interval session. So start off with a couple miles of a warm up, and I really wasn't focusing on vert during this run. I did get a little bit at the end during my, I guess you could say like last mile or two, kind of like cool down. But right there in the middle was 3 intervals of 3 minutes at really high intensity. And during these 3-minute intervals, I was getting my heart rate up to like 180, 182, 183 beats a minute, which is pretty close to like the highest my heart rate will actually go during like short interval sessions. Now, if I was going longer and I was extending this, like it could probably get up to 185, 186. I've seen that like in my lactate threshold test, but for just a 3-minute interval session, like that's pretty much right where I want to be sitting for that last minute, is like my heart rate right around like 180, and that's like really good training spot for me. So we can see here that for about the first maybe minute of each interval, my heart rate was in zone 4, but then it bumped into zone 5 for about the last minute and a half to 2 minutes of each of these 3-minute interval sessions. So perfect, exactly where I wanted to be for this session. Friday's run wasn't like exactly what I planned for it to be. I planned for it to be an hour with like 10-minute tempo runs, like 3 by 10 minutes. And kind of just got into the run and just really wasn't like feeling that. Like I wasn't feeling like I was ready to go those 3 10-minute intervals. And it was probably because the day before I had just hit those like really high intensity 3-minute intervals. And so this run ended up being a little bit more of a recovery run, a lot of hiking. About 15 or 20 minutes into it, I just decided, okay, this isn't the run that I'm going to nail today. And so I need to just wait until I'm in a little bit better place. So instead, I decided to just go for a little bit extra vert. So I got 2,600 feet of vert on the treadmill in 6 miles, which I'm pretty happy with, and got a couple miles running in. So that was good. Saturday was really hoping to get out to the trails, but that just didn't happen because the temperature was like 5 degrees and there was so much snow on the ground that it was just like, it would have turned into just a really kind of just like, honestly, it would have turned into a kind of a lazy effort because I would have been out there just for so long in such incredible cold that it just wouldn't have really been a good training session. So I opted instead to get on the treadmill, and I just put on a couple movies. I started with Godzilla King of the Monsters, and then Rampage with The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. Then watched the beginning of Sum of All Fears with Ben Affleck and Morgan Freeman. So that was sweet. Like, just watched a couple movies, got a 20-miler in on the treadmill, and I did get 6,000 feet of vert during this 20-miler, but the app I was using, RunCline, did crash like halfway through the run, and I lost the file. And this is one thing that I kind of warned you guys about. If you're using an app like to record your runs, like inevitably it's going to crash once or twice. Like it just will. And so that really sucked that it crashed on my 20-miler. But luckily I was wearing not this watch, but my Polar Vantage V. And it was like the weirdest thing because normally I don't wear an extra watch on a treadmill, but this day I was like, I'm shooting for a 20-miler. I want to have a backup. And thankfully I did, because the run was also recorded on the Polar Vantage V. The only problem was that it didn't record my vertical gain. That's one of the limitations of using a GPS watch on a treadmill. A lot of them they just don't connect, and they don't record that. So I had to add it in manually later, but I did take a picture of the treadmill that showed my 6,000 feet of gain, in case anyone actually cares. But as you can see here, like I was just keeping it really chill, like lots of running sections, lots of hiking intervals. Pretty much had no game plan aside from getting to that 20 miles and at least 5,000 feet of vert. So ended up overshooting the vert a little bit, which was nice, but just did a lot of hiking. I actually used this office as an aid station, so I put all my gels like out on this table, and it was great. Like it was like perfect. Like I had a bathroom, I had an aid station. It was just like awesome. I had a TV playing movies. Like it was like, I mean, like some people were commenting like that seemed like that would have been a horrible run, but I absolutely loved it. Like it was so fun. So that was my Saturday run, and then today, Sunday, just got off the treadmill, did another 7, and I just kind of treated this as a recovery. Like I just wanted to get to my 55 miles for the week and 17,000 feet of vert. So did just enough to do both of those. All right, so that's it. I got to wrap this video up because my kids just started playing Old Town Road on the Alexa like super loud, and you're probably gonna be able to hear it, and that's gonna ruin this video. Also, another note on the Saucony Triumph 18, I'm at 97 miles, so almost 100. So the full review is coming like real soon. And I also just got these brand new shoes, the New Balance Fuel Cell Propel V2. So my first impressions will be coming out as soon as I can run outside on these. I really don't want to do a first impression video while running on a treadmill, but I will if I have to keep running on the treadmill because of the weather over the next couple weeks. But yeah, I'm excited to give you guys my thoughts on these shoes. So that's it, wrapping it up here. Good week of training. Even though it has all been on the treadmill, I'm getting some really quality work in. Let me know how you guys' training is going. If you're able to run outside, tell me what it's like. What's it like having the sun on your face? Anyway, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up, and we're going to get started watching the Super Bowl here in just a minute. That's going to be fun. So yeah, again, thank you for stopping by, and I will see you again soon. Bye.